Okay, we are live on here. Uh, Thanks for everyone that watched the first part of this video where we are making an infographic for the micro niche marketing, our recent podcast that was released that I am going to summarize into this infographic. Um, so what I want to do now is if you see where we left off, so I'll lower my opacity here and you can see, so we've got our headline, we've got our background elements to give it some depth and some weight. And we built out the different pieces. So there are 7 main areas that we're looking at that we want to be able to see on here, that we want people to see. So what we need to do is find, sorry, I have a lot of windows open over here now. So I need to find my script for this. Okay. So because what I'm going to do is now that we put in the headlines last time, and now what I want to do is try to find a little 3 or 4 line description for each one of these. So the original text that I have looks like this. I'm going to change it to something a little more readable so we can work on it. All right, so that's way too much copy for what we're looking for. So what I like to do is take this and trim it down. So, some basic information. It's critical to know. It's crucial to know who your target audience is and what they need. Okay, so that almost fit. All right, and again, as we discussed yesterday, we don't like hyphens. So that, of course, would make things a little more difficult. And swatches, let's use that. Knowing who your target audience is and what they need, you'll be able to answer the why behind your marketing. I can bring that in a little bit, and then it's going to flow a little better. Now the question is, when it comes to body copy, yeah, that's not useful. It's difficult to read. So what size do we have here? 18. We'll go back to 18. Pull that in. Make a little more space. Okay. So I think that might work. That's going to be a little bit, let me drop that all the way. That's going to be a little bit difficult to read. So maybe we need a little darker version. Probably just go with lighter since it is thinner. Okay, so knowing that this isn't going to work, let's just replace all of these. I'm holding down Command and Shift. So try to build these out. And I'll get to the aligning afterwards. All right. So I have these 3 items. Align those. Focusing on the right platform. Here is the original copy for that. The clear understanding of your target audience is essential to choose the platforms that best suit their needs and preferences. This will help you, blah, 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 blah. Well, that's the same thing. their needs and preferences. This will help you optimize your marketing efforts by focusing on the most effective channels. All right, that's kind of generic. It kind of says what the headline says. You optimize your efforts. All right, I think that works. Basically, what I'm looking for here is one sentence that further fleshes out what this idea is. Experience. All right, I think that is a good summation. Now, this is also one of those things that I probably could have had the AI trim this down to one sentence. But when I've done that in the past, the sentence ends up being crazy long anyways. Okay, so being nimble and adaptable. So marketing is constantly changing. Okay, so now this is actually the first time that I've done a live stream with copy editing. I don't know how interesting that is for people, but we'll see. I look forward to kind of hearing from people about what they think about this. We also need to make sure everything's properly aligned. All right, learn from different industries. That's important. Outside your something, I don't want to say box. Expertise. Go outside your comfort zone. Learning from different industries. So the basic part of this is it's difficult to talk this through and think and write at the same time. Let's just do that for now. We can come back to it. All right, sustained growth, sustaining growth. Now you see here, this is the first time we have two sentences in one of these blocks, so we'll have to figure out if that's something that we want to keep. One of the best posters I ever saw is when I was working for an agency a long time ago, and it said, if we don't take care of the customer, someone else will. I think that is it's critical. It's the best way to think about it. And that's the bottom line. That's what we're all looking for right here. This one I'm going to cheat a little bit, give it a little more room. Yep, I think that works pretty well. Let's save it. Okay, now something like this, I would probably usually use some sort of illustration, some sort of, vector artwork. But due to the timing of it and me trying to get two of these done this week because I'm traveling next week to CEX, I'm going to look for images. Excuse me. So let's see. Pexels is pretty good. And what I'm looking for, this is kind of the not glamorous part of working on these sort of things. So clients. Stock photography is the worst. No offense to any of these folks. Some of these are good, but a lot of them are just cheesy. And the challenge is all these free stock photography sites, they're trying to upscale. You can see they're all trying to sell subscriptions. So, it's the age-old social media model. Get the customers in, then figure out how to monetize them, and then charge them for the stuff they used to access for free. We're going to want landscape because most of these are landscape. This one's actually good for line sales and marketing. And one thing I always do is make sure I credit the artists on these. So I've got an Evernote over here with all my podcast infographic notes for this newsletter. All right, and then I'm going to find, that's not right, find this original image, pull it in, and then do some sort of effect on top of it. I might do it like last week where I did the effect in Photoshop. That's because the image will be large, way too big. But then what we're trying to do, pull in here, copy, paste, or copy cut. And then I'm going to Command 7 to get that in there. Okay, that looks okay. And then what I want to do, grab that, copy, paste that in front. Change that. Let's try multiply. 20. Yeah, that's not great. Let's figure out what effect we want. Oh, the worst. I am very picky about my menus and where they sit. I've had the same general menu layout since I was a very young designer. Occasionally new menus make it in if they're useful. But for the most part, it's the same basic ones that I've had for, well, decades now. That might work. And green, almost like a knockout. I think that will be good. I like that idea. All right. So thanks, Jason Goodman. I will give you a shout out in this week's newsletter. All right. Being nimble and adaptable. So right now, because these are a lot of just kind of business people talking images, and that's kind of what we're talking about here. There might be different images that can apply to different ones. So I'm not necessarily focused on, okay, I need to find a customer experience one right now. So I'm trying to keep these different titles in my mind as I'm doing this. Whoops, no. Save that one. Okay. So the problem with a lot of these is a lack of diversity. I think this one works well. That one could work well also. Kind of cropped like that. Is she your ideal client? She could very well be. But I see this as nimble and adaptable because obviously she's not in the office. She's working at all times of day and night. And really large. Shrink it down. Copy, cut it, grab that, paste behind, grab that, do a mouse, copy that, paste in front. See, can I just do that? I can. That's awesome. All right, multiply 50, like green, yes. All right, and now there's another one that I was looking at here, right? Let's look. Let's download this one, see if it works. All right, copy that to the clipboard. Choice photo, way too large. So this is the less fun part of the project. Some people love this part, and some people do it because they have to. I wonder if there'd be a way to add up all the time spent looking for stock photos. If there was, I'm sure Adobe would already have that information and would sell it to us when they're pitching their services. All right, so we've got 3 done. Focusing on the right platform, this is going to be a difficult image to find. So we're probably going to need, I was going to say, a group of people sitting in an office. That is a whole lot of white dudes. These people are not focused. And close that. All right, let's hold off on that one until we find something a little better. Standing growth, emphasize customer experience. She doesn't look happy. This would be good, but that's more customer support than customer experience. This could be a good learning from different industries, but it's dark. Let's see how it looks. So one of the tricky things is I use a software called Airglass that allows me to have this little teleport up here and to pop in here from time to time, and gloves and the whole thing. So I can point to things on the screen even if I'm not on the screen and still see my hand come up, draw circles and stuff. But one of the drawbacks to that is if I hold down Option and Shift for too long, the keyboard comes up. Oops, I want that to paste behind. All right. Does this look too much like a town hall meeting where everyone is mad at each other? Maybe. I'm going to pull this in a little bit because we have this weird kind of dark area there that's grabbing attention. So if we do that, that works a little better. I don't like cutting off people's heads. I think that might be better. Yeah, I think that'll work. All I'm doing now at this point is using the eyedropper to pick up the green tint from here. I'm going to try playing with it some more because Oh no, the reds are all messed up. So that's not going to work. Let's try hard light, see what happens. I think that works well with the general theme of this overall infographic. I'm gonna have to lighten up this drop shadow, but yeah, I think hard light's the way to go. Hello, I'm doing a recording.
Are you really?
Yep.
Right now?
Yep. Yeah, you're on it. Okay, so back to it. Did I copy that? Antenna? I did. An interesting screen name. Let's see. So now we need to focus on the right platform, customer experience, and sustained growth. So obviously the generic sustained growth would be some sort of like up diagram going up. All right, and we are moving past, I think we're moving out of good client images. So let's see what we can find. That's a great photo. I used that for something a year or two ago, and it was really good. Customer experience, I don't think so. Sustained growth or platform, nope. This might be good for platform, but if we're doing a really thin box there, it's going to crop her in an unfortunate way. Okay, that makes sense. So some of these are obviously LinkedIn images, which is it's LinkedIn was really smart to add a bunch of images to here. This looks like customer experience to me, or one of them. Okay, copy that. So now the tricky part is now we're getting down to two that have a difficult size. Face front, I dropped that. Okay. That might be a sustained growth. Let's keep looking. We can always reuse it. We can always not reuse it, but swap it out. I like this one. Right, that is a large image. So normally you don't want to, you don't want your images in here at full size. because it just creates a massive file size. I missed somehow. Okay, copy, paste in front, copy X, paste in front again, and I drop. Okay, that was a little weird what was showing up there. And so now we're focusing on the right platform. Again, this would be good, but we don't need a whole bunch of tech bros. Do we need, is this the same group from here? I think it is. Oh yeah, there's that lady with her jacket that looks like the McLeod plaid. Okay. Technology, super generic term. Like that would be good, but the size of it, the dimensions of it don't work. She's multitasking and not focusing. I'm going to go back up here to this data center lady. Save, copy, paste. One, two, three, wait for it to come in. Paste behind, copy, paste to that, paste in front, didn't work again. Copy, paste in front, copy, X, paste in front again. So that way it's just separated out from what it used to be. All right, this needs to come down. Transparency, it's too loud. All right, I'm just going to check the file size of this. 300 megs, that's a little large. That's why it's kind of glitching out at times. All right, we need to write some copy for there, but what we need to do is put in the footer. So here's where we do a little bit of research. Spotify, and I'm going to look up Lubisi, Chief Strategy Officer. It's a fun title. No. Okay, I need her anyways. But what I need to do, I've got multiple footers on here. But what I want to do is figure out, oops, I need to read my LinkedIn messages. Yeah, we can give her just the 3-line. Like that, pull it up. Oh, it's going to be a nice short infographic. I've done one of these, I don't think yet. I used to do them like this, way back in the day. Okay, so now I have this image masked off. So if I select that and paste in front, scale it down, slide it over, Scale it down, slide it over, lock that, select behind it, and then unlock that. We're good to go. All right, so this should be that. We want our lines to be neon. Yeah, that looks good. All right, and we're not going to use that typeface. We're going to, I was hoping for a second we already had Gotham in here. Gotham light should work for this. So I use the same footer template for all of these. They just change just a little bit. She is the chief strategy officer, correct? At tab 32. Now what we need to do is see that is lowercase t. That's good because we saw there's some bad kerning there. Stretch this out. All right, and then I look at my Spotify again. And brand, and the topic was branding a micro niche. And then the last thing I need to do here is talk about brand, find images that we're looking for. Open image in new tab. What? No. Why does it look like that? Oh, but I want it with the little callouts. Christine's pretty cool, and I'm looking forward to seeing her next week at CEX. All right, we can make this work. Same deal, we're going to cut it, paste it in front of that. It's a little different. Normally these things just come in as rectangles. I don't know why this one did not. And then what we're going to do, copy that, paste it in front, mask it, drop it back one so the border's full size, lock it so we can get rid of the old image. And then we adjust the height of this. Wow, such a short infographic. This would be a good test to see if people like the shorter ones. Normally, most of my infographics are, on the wrong layer. Block, 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 because it's much easier to read on mobile. But we're going to mix it up this week. All right. To do marketing. Someone who's going to have a hyper-targeted niche and it'll be harder to develop. All right. Basically, what I want to say here is, what is a micro niche? What are the challenges? And here's how you do it. You don't hyphenate adverbs. Just get rid of this now. So it's not a problem. All right. Hyper-targeted is better than highly targeted. Okay, a micro niche is a group of hyper-targeted people who fit your ideal customer profile. Here are some tips to ease this difficult marketing process. And what I actually want to do is put just a little more air between there. Putting this here makes me think I should put something here. And if I put a closer in, then that's definitely going to stand out. So let's not. All right, I'll save that. We are going to make sure everything's properly locked. Delete those. Delete that. All right, let's duplicate that over and then ungroup it. When I ungrouped it, it lost its transparency. All right. We don't have to worry about the LinkedIn carousel right now. What just happened? That's really weird. I didn't even know you could do that. How did I paste in front of every? That's crazy. I managed to paste in front of every artboard. That can make things much easier. And why was it this stupid purple block? I wish it could have been this. Would have made things easier. All right. Get that there. Let's center align it. This one goes with this little guy. Just for my blog. This one's for the LinkedIn header. Substack header, I'm going to shrink that down a little bit. I don't need to, but why not? All right, and then relock the texture. That doesn't look as good. What it looks like over here. I guess it does. This doesn't fill the space very well. Doesn't fill the space well. Grab your text. Now I put that in a text box, so I can't scale it up that way, but if it's connected to another asset, you can do that. It might be a little better. Yeah, it's competing. Yikes. Yeah. Substack. Same thing, we're going to shrink it down. Center it. Center it. Oh, you know what? One thing I have to be careful of is on Substack. I'm going to pull this in because it crops it off in some views. Substack needs to fix that. All right, LinkedIn just changed their header size, so now it's 1920 by 1080. In a lot of ways, that makes things easier. Now I want to make this a little bit smaller. Make sure that is the focus. All right, so at some point next week, I will produce these LinkedIn documents. Can't believe how small this infographic is. And I'll need to make a Twitter image. No, I'll just do the Twitter image now. Thought I had it. What? I might not need that for Twitter. I think I'm okay there. All right, so that is essentially it. Oops, lock my texture layer. This whole thing is going to slide down. this little area, just a little bit too much for me. Open that one up a little bit. Slide this down. I think that works. I'm still within my guides. This one's touching, whereas these don't. All right. And that, my friends, is how you do one of these infographics. So if you like this, please let me know. And we'll do another one of these in the future. I'm hoping to maybe get a second one done this week before I travel next week. It'll be about YouTube. I took all the notes and organized it a while ago. I just haven't done the actual design for it. But hopefully you like this, and I will talk to you later. Thanks.